keep the government out of my business, and y'all can keep the change. This country sure as hell been going down the drain. We know what we need. We know who to blame. United Socialist States of America. How do you like that name? I'll keep the USA and y'all can keep the change.
Let's go!
The NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act. While America was sleeping, not paying attention, watching American Idol, or doing whatever it is that they're doing, your traitorous Congress and House, and more than likely the President, have swung the muskets around and pointed it towards the American people. Be ready for no more due process. In the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, the new bill in 2012, which passed the House 322 yay, 75% House, 96 no, 22% House, 13 not voting, that's 3%. In the Senate, 283 yay, 65%, Senate 136 no, that's 31%, Senate 14 not voting, 3%. After passing House and Senate, revised bill was set forth and voting was as follows: 86 yay, 13 nay, 1 not voting. So right there we have the House and the Senate declaring war on the American people. Because when you read the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, it says that American citizens are now subject to no more due process, no more trial by a jury of your peers. They just come, pick you up, indefinite detention. And of course, in the first part of the bill, it says that U.S. citizens are exempt from these measures, but of course in the back it says unless we call you a terrorist, or they list a whole slew of things which anyone can be affiliated with. You know, present danger or some other load of crap. It's plain and simple. Nazi Germany would pick up people, throw them in camps, never see them again forever. But they never put it on the books. They never made it legal. They never had the tenacity to put it down on paper. Other crazy governments have done the same thing, but they never had the tenacity to put this stuff down on paper. Only North Korea. Only North Korea has ever put it on the books that we can just pick you up and you're never seen again, no due process, nothing. Only North Korea, and now if Obama passes, which he may have already passed it, you know, there was some talk that he was going to veto it, but really it's probably just a ploy to get people to turn the other way. It's coming down. I mean, he's probably going to pass it, and then the U.S. on paper will have the legal right to pick up any citizen that they wish and hold them indefinitely. And who knows what else goes on. You know, torture, all kinds of craziness. So, I've warned you before on this show that I've created. They've gotten the coffins, they've gotten everything ready. I'm going to show you some police training from 10 years ago, 12 years ago, where it shows military working with police training to keep back U.S. protesters. And when you get all the documents of the terrorists, of who the terrorists are, it's the American citizens, it's the guys, it's the farmers, the John Deere hats, and most of all, returning veterans. I mean, just read this stuff. They are off their effing rockers. I mean, it's all white out in the open. They just admit this stuff. It ain't even kept secret. Like I said, most governments don't put this stuff on paper. Our traitorous government, who have sold their souls, have sold their lives, their livelihood, their countrymen, for chicken feed. I mean, these congressmen go up there and they maybe get $200,000 to pass bills for major corporations where they make billions off of it. They don't even get 1/10 of 1% of what bills they pass. I mean, they are just strung out crack whores who will sell and do anything for money. I mean, they will sell this country out for a chicken feed. I mean, $200,000 might sound like a lot, but in the big scheme of things, that's not a lot of money. And they're selling their countrymen. They're selling their souls. They're selling everything for chicken feed. I mean, it's unbelievable. Watch these videos. I got protesters and police military training to take on the American people, where they're like, I'm an American. I have rights. I'm hungry. Please don't take me to the camp. All this training, all this terrorism training, all this fear-mongering is for us. You better get it through your heads, and you better get it quick, because they're already passing the laws, they've already got the coffins, they already got the stories, they know what they're doing, and it ain't good for you, it ain't good for me, it ain't good for nobody. So watch these videos.
The place is Hebron, Maryland. The date, September 3rd and 4th, 1998. Another one of my listeners in Hebron, Maryland, sent me this amateur videotape and accompanying news articles. I called and confirmed his story with the sheriff and others in the town. The Marines came in, over 70 of them, and engaged in a takeover of the town, from the courthouse to other centers of city government. And then they went out during the day and at night and engaged in mock gun confiscations, aided by citizens and, yes, even adolescents and young children on bicycles looking for the supposed terrorist. All part of the training.
Place his backpack right next to each other. Take a step backwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Colonel Love.
Sir, is this where you take the digital photos? Yes, sir. That's the station that we take digital photos here. I send them straight to over to Sergeant Smith, and he processes it, and he puts them on ID cards, sir.
Oh, so the people coming into the camp get out.
Plastic handcuffs available. You see it in the gentleman's mouth right there. He's got a plastic handcuff. These are handcuffs that are used to control dissidents. You see he's turning it into a handcuff by looping one through the other. And they'll be used to put on.
What your purpose is. You must leave.
The unwelcome streets of a city on lockdown. The G20 Financial Summit brought out protesters in the hundreds, and police in full armor blocking every entrance to the city center. It was meant to be a peaceful event, but a tough economy is pushing people to the brink. Police surrounded the crowd and used tear gas.
Oh! Police brutality! This weekend, a few troublemakers turned a peaceful protest against Wall Street greed into a violent burst of chaos. The troublemakers carried pepper spray and guns and were wearing badges.
Doesn't give a fuck about you. It's interested in its own power. That's the only thing.